All right, what is going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Hopefully you're having a good day. All right, we've got NBA. We're going to talk about the 8 games we've got, and then I'm going to give you my best bets. Before we do that, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. Hit the subscribe button. Join the Discord. It is absolutely free. Give out plays. That comes to the Discord early. Parlays, things like that get posted in there. And lastly, comment down below. Just anything, help the algorithm, all that good stuff. But we're going to get into this NBA video, and then I'm going to drop a college video later. So make sure you have notifications on. That way you see when that gets posted. All right, first game, Knicks and the Magic. Orlando lost a tight one last night to Miami, so on a back-to-back. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of Knicks -7, or I would lean towards the over 212.5. I get we had a really low-scoring game last night. Same thing with the Heat. They just shoot threes. They weren't hardly making them, so I think we'll see a little bit of difference today. Magic should be able to score a little bit more. Knicks should be able to. It should be a pretty decent day for Brunson points. I just don't really love taking points over, so that's an avenue there. All right, Pacers and the Celtics. Boston -12.5 against the Pacers team. Starting to come around. They got out to a really quick lead last night against Oklahoma City. Ended up kind of squandering that, but that's the NBA. There's so many runs that happen during the course of a game. I think 12.5 is too much for the Celtics team. I haven't really blown anybody out. Pacers have a tendency to kind of hang in there and make comebacks and go on those runs. So I would say the over 231.5 would be favorite play, and then Indiana plus 12.5. Obviously, it's going to be a back-to-back, but really haven't seen the back-to-backs have too much of an impact, especially on this team. I think just the way they're laid out. They should do pretty good on a back-to-back. Obi Toppin got hurt last night. He's probably out. I haven't confirmed that, but he did sprain an ankle early. It was like in the first quarter, I want to say last night, and then didn't come back. So let me verify here. So yeah, he's a game-time decision, but not expected to play. On the other side of the ball for Boston, Jrue Holiday and Porzingis are game-time decisions. So probably one of the two won't play, but nothing crazy there. All right, Spurs and the Nets. Spurs -7.5. I mean, it depends on Wemby. Wemby looked so good in that game against the Knicks. Like, he just absolutely popped off. But Brooklyn plays really good defense. So, but also coming off a back-to-back. I was on Brooklyn last night over the points, and that panned out. But in this spot, Brooklyn at home +7.5. I would lean more towards the over 213.5. Brooklyn does play good D. Spurs will allow some points, so ultimately lean towards the over. And then I would say Spurs -7.5. I think they look pretty good. Question is, will Ben Simmons play? He has not played a back-to-back yet this year, so is that possibility? So you've got Bogdanovic is out, Dorius Finney-Smith's out, Cam Thomas is out, Watford's out, Williams is out. So they've got a lot of folks that are out, and they're going to be on a back-to-back. So just not a great night to back the Nets, in my opinion. I think generally, if this wasn't a back-to-back, we would probably see this line more closer to 4.5, 5.5. Yeah, I think it's justified. All right, Grizzlies and the Pelicans. So Grizz -9.5 going against Pelicans, who just got absolutely destroyed last night. Absolutely destroyed. I can't trust the Pelicans. Going up against a Memphis team, this line feels low, actually. I would take Memphis -9.5. Just an absolute better team. Really didn't have to play hardly any of their guys last night. I want to say like Ja and Des Morant and all those guys played like 23 minutes, something like that. So they should be fairly well rested coming into this game. Memphis -9.5 for sure. Don't really want to touch an over-under. Don't trust the Pelicans to shoot. All right, T-Wolves and the Rockets. I think this would be a pretty good game. We're seeing Minnesota +1. Rockets team's been playing really good D. Really, really good D. What kind of surprised me was Houston really playing at a pretty nice pace. They're 5th in pace right now, so they're starting to uptick on the pace a little bit. I don't necessarily trust Minnesota on the road. I don't like the way they've looked. Give me Houston -1. Lean towards the over 213.5 in this one. Very, very light lean towards that over. Would rather just bank on Houston. All right, Cleveland and the Nuggets. This one should be pretty good. This was a fun game when it was in Cleveland in December. I want to say like December 5th. Cleveland favorites against the Nuggets at home, obviously with the better record. They put a little beat down on them last time, so really hard for me to not want to take the team today. So I'm going to go Cleveland. Cleveland minus 2.5. I would lean towards the under 235.5. It's a little high in my opinion. Dallas Mavericks and the Phoenix Suns. No Luka, no Devin Booker in this contest. So kind of a blah game. Dallas plus 1.5 without Luka. Phoenix at home. Give me Phoenix minus 1.5 on this one. I get Dallas as the better team, but yeah, I don't love them without Luka. Kyrie's assist line's ridiculous. That's 6.5. Bang it while you can towards the under. We'll talk about the why. Last game, Golden State and the Clippers. We've got Golden State plus 4.5. No Steph. I'll double confirm that, but yeah, no Steph Curry tonight. No Gary Payton. Draymond Green's a game time decision. Kawhi Leonard is starting to work out. Should be back here in the next couple of weeks, I would assume. So we're going to start to get the Kawhi back. That's going to be an interesting team right there. I can't wait to see what the Clippers look like with Kawhi. Ultimately, giving the Clippers minus 4.5 at home. Just been a very good home team. That said, Golden State without Steph have been serviceable. They've been pretty good. I don't think Dennis Schroeder has panned out so far in terms of production, and he's kind of screwing up the rotation a little bit. I don't love that Podzimski guy. I just don't love him. He's not a great team player. So to me, it's Clippers in this spot for sure. All right, let's go over the card. Get you guys on your way. We didn't cover the recap. So yesterday, good day in the NBA. We went 5-2. The two that we lost were just blowouts. So it is what it is there. It was Desmond Bane and DeJounte Murray. They both ended up not going over their line. Desmond Bane, we needed 5 assists. I think he got like 2. DeJounte Murray over 13.5 rebounds plus assist. I think he got 8. But really just didn't play much of the second half for either of them because it was a huge blowout. But we ended up getting DeMar DeRozan over 3.5 assists. Chris Middleton over 3.5 assists. Brooke Lopez over 9.5 points. That line was at like 14 by tip-off. Bilal Coulibaly over 3.5 assists. Just continues to cash for us. I think he had 5. So that was pretty sweat-free. And then we had Clint Capella under 10.5 rebounds. Stupid sweat-free. He finished with 4. That line was just way, way wrong, especially to get it at minus 106. That was beautiful. And then in the NFL, tragic. One of the worst games. That's got to be the worst game of the season. That was terrible. That was terrible to watch, terrible from a betting perspective. So we went a big fat O for there. We needed Zach Charbonnet to get one more carry, so hooked us there. Noah Fant, we had his under 3.5 receptions. Everything was just short passes. So he ended up with the most receptions on the team, which was 4. So hooked us on the opposite way there. Zach Charbonnet, I think if he gets 1 or 2 more carries, he would have crossed his rushing yards line. And then DeAndre Swift, we needed 2 more carries from him. So poopy day in the NFL, just that one game. Terrible game. Anyway, let's get off that soapbox. All right, straight bets we're taking today. Goga Batadze over 9.5 rebounds. He's over this line in 6 of 7. He had 11 versus the Knicks when they played them on December 15th. I just hope he can not get ejected. I'm a little nervous about going up against Cat and getting in foul trouble. That's the only thing that scares me on this line. Evan Mobley over 2.5 assists. First time we've taken an Evan Mobley assist prop. Usually on his rebound line. It's at 9.5 today. I would just lean towards the under on that one. But I like his assist. He's over this in 7 of his last 8. And he had 4 assists the last time these two teams played. Rudy Gobert over 10.5 rebounds. Been a very poor rebounding year for Rudy Gobert. But I like his matchup today. He's over this in 8 of his last 10 versus Houston. He had 16 rebounds versus Houston when they played on November 26th. Houston 19th in rebounds allowed to the center position. So should be a pretty good spot. Hopefully Sengun stays somewhat near the rim. That way we can get some rebounds here. And then on sticking in that same game, I like Sengun under his rebounds and assists. He's only over this line in 5 of his last 10. And versus Minnesota, he's only gone over this in 3 of 9 games. So I like taking the under here. I think he should get some rebounds. I'm just hoping they can limit his assists. The assist will be the only thing that would screw this over, I think. And then give me Yusuf Nurkic over 2.5 assists. He's over this line in 3 straight, but without Devin Booker, he's carried this in 8 straight games without Devin Booker. So I do love him to go over 2.5 assists. I wouldn't be shocked if he came out right out the gate and got like 2 assists early. He does tend to do that in games without Booker. All right, next one, PJ Washington over 7.5 rebounds. You get this at -133 on Caesars. It's 8.5 on pretty much every other book. It will be 8.5 on Caesars at some point today. But he's over this line in 7 of 8 games without Luka. So love taking his rebounds when Luka's out. Jason Tatum under 5.5 assists. He's only over this in 1 of his last 7 games. That said, Indiana 20th in assists allowed to the small forward position. So there's a chance he could definitely go over this line. But statistically speaking, he hasn't in a while. And then the last one, Kyrie Irving, under 6.5 assists. There's no way this line stays at 6.5. He's only carried this in 1 of his last 10 games. He's only done it 1 of 3 versus Phoenix. Phoenix is 4th in assists allowed to the point guard position. So give me this all day. He's only gone over this in 4 of his last 20. You name it. It's just a very high hit rate. This will be 5.5 by tip-off for sure. And then some leans I have, not official plays, but leans I do like. Jaden McDaniels over 3.5 rebounds. Julius Randle over 6.5 rebounds. Mikal Bridges over 2.5 assists. Chris Paul under 4.5 rebounds. And Zach Edey under 9.5 rebounds. I like this at -125 on DK. He's going to be playing a back-to-back. And he played a decent amount of minutes. He's projected to play somewhere between 22 and 23 tonight. And he's got a 20% hit rate to that line when playing 23 minutes. So that's why I like that play. All right. Absolutely appreciate you guys watching the video, giving thumbs up, subscribing to the channel. Like I said, join the Discord. Link is down below. Absolutely free. And I will catch you guys in the college football video.